Are your employees proud of the work they're doing for your landscape design or maintenance clients? Do you ever try and get them to take photos and they say, yeah, boss, I'll send you a photo, and then they don't? Well, then you're just like every contractor I've ever talked to anywhere in America, except for Craig Atkinson from Green Side Up Landscaping. And in today's episode, I interview Craig where he shares how he has created a fun contest where his employees are submitting photos and winning prizes every month that he's then putting those photos on his website, on his social media, and how he uses incredible technology to automate a ton of this so it doesn't require a lot of time either from him or his team. Plus, he shares the behind the scenes, a sneak preview of his Airtable, which is a software he uses to manage his leads. He manages his equipment. He's got a lot of really great nuggets to share with you in today's episode. My name's Jack Jostes, and welcome to the Landscaper's Guide to Modern Sales and Marketing. This show is all about helping lawn and landscape contractors live a better lifestyle and increase their profit through sales and marketing. And I'm thrilled to share this episode with this interview with Craig because, man, I struggle getting photos from my own clients. And if you all could watch this, we'd be in business. So enjoy today's episode to learn how to get your team to send you photos every month.
We weren't getting the leads that I knew we could. We weren't getting the right leads.
What started happening is that our leads are more qualified.
Our sales have probably gone up by about 10 to 15% a year.
We're going to increase our sales volume by $1 million in a year.
All right, everybody, welcome to the live broadcast of What's Working Now. Today, I've got Craig Atkinson from Green Side Up Landscaping in Richmond, Virginia, here to talk to us about a major problem all landscape companies have, which is getting great photos from your employees. And Craig is a Ramblin Jackson client. We recently launched a website for him. We've done some SEO. And I've just been really amazed by all of the technology that Craig uses in his business, from online scheduling for his first appointment to he has all these cool automation tasks set up for this photo contest that he's going to share today, and even a way of tracking all of his leads using Airtable. So, Craig, thanks so much for coming today.
Excellent. Thanks for having me.
So Craig, tell us before we get started, just tell us a little bit about yourself. Where are you from? How did you get into running Green Side Up Landscaping?
I was born and raised in Richmond, Virginia, so I didn't leave very far. Thought I was going to be in the green industry. Thought I was going to be in the golf course world my whole life. And that industry kind of dried up for us in this area. So I saved everything that I had earned for the first 21 years of my life, and I spent it all on a weekend. I bought a truck, a trailer, a mower, everything I needed to get started. My dad, who's very conservative, said it was the worst decision I've ever made in my life, and he's since changed his tune on that. Since then, I started out just cutting grass, and then I brought on a couple partners, and that kind of helped us expand to doing some design build also.
Great. And so how long have you actually had the company?
It was 16 years in April.
Great. Cool. Well, so before we get into what's worked, what hasn't worked in trying to get photos from your staff? Because I'm sure that to get to where you're at with this amazing thing, I have a lot of clients and it's like pulling teeth getting employees to take photos. Well, one, to take the photo, and then two, to send it to you so you can use it in your marketing. And
Sure.
This is so important when you're building your website and doing social media, is to show people. Really, landscaping is all about making people's yards or even commercial, making their environment more beautiful, and they want to see photos of it. But so often people don't have it, so they end up using stock photos, and everyone has the same sprinkler on a lawn photo, right? What have you tried to what hasn't worked in trying to get your people to send you photos?
Well, I'll start by saying every winter we get really excited. Like, all right, this is the year we're going to bring in a lot of photos. When the springtime comes with everything's blooming, I'm going to go around, I'm going to block off some days and go around and just take pictures. Well, springtime comes and you get really busy, and then that all doesn't happen. You know, you don't have time to go around and take pictures. I'm not a professional photographer. My guys aren't professional photographers, but just trying to schedule time to take pictures while in the spring is not going to work. We've tried, we try to encourage people to bring on pictures and give them to us and send them to us, and it never happens. If you don't have some kind of incentive for them to do it, they just don't bring it in. So,
and so you've tried it without an incentive. You've tried, like, all of my clients say, oh yeah, we're going to take photos this spring. And then landscape season hits and you're like not sleeping and just working crazy hours, and photos are the last thing on your mind. So what did you do to incentivize your people? Tell us a little about what is the system at Green Side Up Landscaping. How do you get people to take these photos and send them to you?
So let's back out a little bit. Our motto for our company is landscaping you're proud of. So it's landscaping that our guys are proud of installing or maintaining. It's also landscaping that our customers are proud of. So to kind of hit that theme home, we really encourage our guys to take pictures of the work that they've done, that they're proud of. I want them to, we often saw our guys taking pictures of landscaping, and then they'd show it maybe to me or show it to their family, say, hey, this is what I worked on, this is the patio I just finished, or something like that. So I really wanted to harbor that. I can't visit all the jobs and look at everything and take professional pictures of everything all the time, especially in the spring when we're all so busy. So I try to harbor that fact that if I'm promoting landscaping you're proud of, I want you to be so proud that you take a picture of it. And then I wanted to incentivize our guys to take a picture. So I've made it part of our culture. Every Monday, we have a Monday morning, a roundup or a meeting, and we talk about it, about this picture program. And every month, I have a gift cards on the line for the picture that I'm proud of, the best submission of the month. Usually in the spring, during most of the year, it's $50, a $50 gift card, and then I may give 2 gift cards if there are multiple really good submissions. Usually in the spring, I offer a $100 gift card because this is the time of year when everything looks really good. So you got the azaleas blooming, and everything looks great. So I really kind of promote getting good pictures in a good time. You can also, we have used this in a different way too. Some of our maintenance clients, if we get in some trouble with weeds in our landscape beds, we try to promote sending in pictures of the biggest weed that they pulled, so that we're trying to almost making it like a scavenger hunt for getting them to achieve a goal that they should be doing anyway. But it helps us out in making our properties look great.
Good. Well, and so how many people work for you? And in, let's say, April, May, June, and springtime, how many photos are being submitted in a given month, in like a good month?
We're in the upper 30s, almost 40 people. In a good month, I had one guy last month who submitted like 42 pictures. Just one guy. He was very proud of his work, and I love it. Some of the stuff went right on the website. One of the pictures that was sent in last week or last month is on now the front page of our proposals that we send out for our property maintenance. It was that good.
Wow.
It went right on our website and right onto our proposals.
And which page of the website is that on?
It's on.
Do you remember?
It's on the portrait page or the portfolio page.
Okay. I've got it up. Which one is it? Was it an installation or maintenance?
It was a maintenance picture. Keep scrolling down. Whoa, that right down one more level.
This?
One more down. That
This?
one. Yes.
Holy cow. This is an incredible. Look at these lines. Look at this photo. Look at the green.
That was sent in
by
a foreman who just finished cutting that grass. So and it's on the front of my proposals now, and an employee sent that in.
And did he take that on a camera or a phone?
Just on a smartphone.
That's amazing, and so that's the great thing right now is, if your team, and they're just using their personal phones, right?
Correct. Yeah.
Your people are going to have a smartphone, and they have incredible cameras. And if you check out this photo on the for those of you who are listening, check out the website at gsulandscaping.com/portfolio. These are some sweet lines. That's incredible. So did he win the photo contest for that month, or
I gave out $200 gift cards last month. One was for that picture, and the other one was for the guy who submitted 42 pictures.
Awesome. Okay. And so when you're sending these out, or what, you're just kind of choosing which one you like the best? Is that kind of
It is. So, and one thing I've failed to mention, I try to make this as simple as possible. So telling someone just to text it to me, and it's not very organized. So I set up an email address for our company. It's pictures@gsulandscaping.com, so they can send it right to us. So it goes, when a picture comes in, it goes to all the management so everyone can see it, so everyone can be proud of it. So, and then I print out all the pictures, and I mean, it's pretty, I'd say to me, it's fairly obvious which one is going to win every month. And if it's a couple great ones, then I'll give a couple gift cards. The way I see it, I'm getting a lot of great pictures, and I'm not having to do any work. So a couple gift cards is a great way to reward our guys for stuff that they're proud of, and we're getting good stuff out of it.
And then tell us what happens once the email is sent to pictures@gsulandscaping.com. Don't you use Zapier don't you have some other automation set up after we get the email?
I do. So this gets a little complicated, but I actually have all of our information go right into Airtable. Which is a kind of like a spreadsheet meets a database together. We just started doing that this year. I just had for 5 years, I just had a email address, and it would just come into our inbox. But now I've got a place where everything organizes and goes right into a place where we can look at it all at the same time.
Automatically. And so for people who are listening that maybe aren't using Zapier, it's essentially a software that makes software talk to other software. So instead of, manually downloading the photo to your computer and then uploading it somewhere else, and then, doing all these things, this is all automated through Zapier. The email automatically sends the photo to Airtable. And what are some of the results of, obviously your people you're getting photos that you're using on your website, you're using them on social media, you even have one in your proposal now. What are some of the other results or impacts of kind of having this photo culture? It's really become part of your operations. How else has it impacted the business?
Well, I think for starters, we have a good culture here, and everyone wants to produce landscape and they're proud of. So at the same time, it's helping recruiting from a standpoint of a lot of people want to be here. A lot of people want to produce stuff that they're really happy to do. For me as a business owner, it's helpful to have, I typically take pictures in the same way every single time when I'm doing things. Getting different perspectives and different views from different angles from different people, it's super beneficial. You know what I mean? I wouldn't even think to take some of these pictures and do some of these things, and getting that feedback that I can then use for marketing for my company, whether it's newsletters or the website or social media. It makes it really, really simple.
Craig, you're one of the few landscapers I know for whom recruiting is not like a big problem right now. Okay, so that's kind of weird, right? but it's not weird because you've built an incredible company. You've built a company where people want to work. What are you doing on the recruiting side? And it may not even be recruiting. It's more of a leadership and the culture side. What is the culture like at GSU, and how does that then impact recruiting?
We're a team, and so we've got to all work together, and we promote that a lot. We work really hard to onboard our guys, give them the absolute best equipment that they can, give them clear goals of what they're trying to get accomplished, and we listen to them. I mean, I have a pretty intense onboarding process where we're trying to bring the right guys here in the first place through the interview process. When they do come here, I'm having a 30, a 60, a 90, and every 6 months after that meeting with the team members. So I'm asking them on a scale of 1 to 10, how do you like working here? And then I ask a series of seven to 8 questions that there may be corny questions, but they're meant to spur conversation. I want to make sure that they're getting what they want out of us and we're getting what we need out of them. You know what I mean? So nothing comes up as a surprise because we're talking it out. We're figuring it out. If something's left field, I'm going to know about it before I get slammed and heck, he doesn't show up ever again, Yeah,
right. And I love that question of, on a scale of 1 to 10, how are you feeling about working here? And one of the things that we're working on together is Net Promoter Score. You're using GatherUp to gather that from your clients. I'm a big believer in it because what I found is that you learn a lot when you get the 7 or the 6 or the 5 and you call your customer and say, hey, we're looking to get 8, 9s, and 10s. What's the gap here? And you find out, and you can absolutely find that out from your people. I remember I waited a long time to ask that to my own staff. And in a company meeting, I asked one of our departments how they were feeling, and they were feeling pretty low, and we needed to make some immediate changes, and we did. And without mentioning somebody specifically, can you share a story of maybe a time where you had that conversation and you got a 7, 6, or a 5, and you were able to coach or mentor that person, give them what they need to get them to be an 8, 9, 10, and a long-term employee? Well, I don't know that one doesn't come to mind, but one story that does come to mind is I want them to know that I'm listening to them. So one example of that is I asked them, one of the last questions is there something I can do to make you or help you do your job better? So I'm just straight out throwing it out there any way possible. One guy was talking about we're always working on crew efficiency and their timing on the jobs and stuff like that. He mentioned that on one of his properties, we had one bagger at the time for 6 mow crews. We had one bagger. So he used this bagger on that property. He noticed by the end of the year that the mulch hadn't been blown all out, and it looked a whole lot better than a lot of our other properties. So I went and got baggers for everybody else, and it's saving on man hours. Our properties are looking better. It's helping us in a couple different transitions. And I gave him credit for that in our meetings and gave him a bonus for that. Just promoting good, thinking how we can get better, because I can't think of all the stuff, So yeah, that's awesome. That's great. And in the Monday meeting, so I wanted to just acknowledge some of the things that I think you're doing really well. We had an overwhelming response of people who wanted to hear this recording and come to the live thing. And it's a pain for me running a web design and SEO company, because my clients get better results when they have great photos on their website. And if I can't go everywhere and take everyone's photo for them, and they all struggle with this. But what I think you're doing well is you're reiterating this every Monday. So you told me before the show started, there are 2 ways. There are 2 things that happen at the start of every Monday morning. So what are they? So I start every Monday morning meeting with our motto: landscaping you're proud of. So I want to reiterate that. I do it on the beginning of the meeting and I do it at the end of the meeting, just so we close everything up. The second thing I do is promote this picture program. So if it's not the first of the next month, I'm just talking about it, and you can kind of direct your guys on what kind of pictures that you're gonna
rank a little higher this month. Like maybe I want more people in my pictures, or maybe I want to see, guys working in our pictures, or, having a good time that we can use it on promote our growing our team. So that's kind of how I do it. And then on the beginning of every month, I print out every one of the pictures in our big circle. I pass them out, and they start cutting up for 5 minutes. They just looking at all the pictures, and like they want to be the person who wins this thing.
And do you have like a GSU Hall of Fame, or like where do those winner pictures, where do they live?
On our website.
On your website. Hell yeah. Right on. Okay, cool. Yeah. You don't have like a cork board or something where you pin them up, or?
I don't, but that's a good, by no means are we perfect on this. We've found something that works for us.
Right.
But I do like the idea of maybe posting those pictures so they can see them and have them up there.
Well, yeah, I like it. We have a beef jerky club at Ramblin Jackson. So we live our core values, and one of them is to be on time and prepared to add value. So we're always on time and ready to add value to a meeting. We're not going to show up and be like, what are we doing? We're going to show up on. And so every Monday, we let our employees, our team, nominate each other, and you can get a point for living a core value. Mm-hmm. And then you tell the story of like, Craig did a great job of being on time to add value here, blah, blah, blah. And at the end of the quarter, whoever gets the most points gets to keep. We have a bowl. It's a little bowl statue, toy statue thing. And then you get to keep that for the rest of the quarter. And then at the end of the quarter, you could decorate it and pass it. You mail it to the next person, because we're a remote company. So that's one of the ways that we kind of keep it going. And we have like a little trophy that you can, but you only have it for a few months, and you have to decorate it. So I think there's a lot of, I think these things, it's funny. They seem kind of corny or cheesy or silly, but they're actually the things that people really enjoy and remember, and they reiterate, landscaping we're proud of. That's one of the first things when we met. That was one of the first things that we talked about, and I love that it makes its way down into all the little details of things that you do.
Jack, I want to say that I'm not a good speaker, and it doesn't feel comfortable in our group, in our Monday morning meeting. I didn't start out thinking that, man, I was born for this, you know what I mean? But it's something that it's needed for the group to get together and to reiterate the things that you want to promote. So landscaping you're proud of. This is what our whole company is about, and promoting this picture thing. This is what I want. I want you to be proud of it, and I want to get some pictures out of it. You know what I mean? So you're going to feel uncomfortable starting this. You just got to do it. And do it on a regular too.
Yeah, do it on the regular, because so many people at the beginning of the year say, all right, team, this spring, take some photos, and then it's fall and they're like, well, we don't have any photos. So you're doing it week by week. I'm curious, what's the third thing that you talk about at the Monday meeting?
I always try to, we talked about that gather up. I try to start off positive. So I try to pull a positive feedback that on an install project or a maintenance project. So give some good, we're getting some feedback, like a Facebook review or an Angie's List review of some sort. So I'm reading that to the group to kind of promote. We're doing do some training, safety training, or, the topics of the day.
Good. One of the other things that I wanted to talk to you about was online scheduling. Now, you've been, right now it's May 2020, depending on when people listen to this. I think you're ahead of the curve in the sense that you've been doing online scheduling for a while, before this whole COVID-19 thing broke out and all of this. Why do you have online scheduling, and how does it, just walk us through what it is. So if you guys check out Craig's website, the call to action is not request a quote, it's book an appointment. and you can literally schedule it online, and it removes all the back and forth emails and the things that people frankly hate about landscapers, which is calling them, not hearing back, emailing them and not hearing back quickly. Oh, I'm not available at this time. It just removes all of that. So from a customer's perspective, it's like, great, please, great. Come and meet me at 4:00 on Thursday. What's it been like? And how is it, why do you continue doing that?
We've been doing that for about 5 years. It is an absolute game changer. If you send everyone to the website and have them be able to schedule online, I'd say half of your phone calls stop. And I know what everyone's going to say. The biggest concern is, I can't see if I'm going to do a good job. If this job is right for me. So we have a lot of different screening process that go through. One of them is right on the website. The first thing I ask them to do is put in their zip code. I want to see if they're actually in the area that we service. Mm-hmm. That's our first screen. If it's not in the right area, then it's going to say, sorry, we can't service you. The second thing is after that, they can set up a meeting, and we ask for a small description of what it's all about. If we see something that comes in that doesn't work for us, what we're doing, then we'll cancel the meeting and say that we're not the right contractor. As soon as they sign up, we talked about Zapier before. I have an automatic pre-meeting document that goes to them and tells them everything that they've kind of selected, if it's a maintenance, a landscape, or a hardscape project. And so I send them a specific pre-meeting document that gives them every detail, gives them rough pricing, gives them detail of what we're doing and how we do it and why we do it. You'd be surprised. We're getting so much good feedback from them saying, wow, thank you for putting all this together. And I understand, like, I've answered the 10 questions that we get asked all the time. Mm-hmm. There's a frequently asked questions section that they've read and like, oh, I don't get asked those questions anymore because it goes right into the document. And that document actually self-sorts people out too, because if they're just looking for someone who can just cut it one time, it specifically says we don't do one-off mowings, and they'll just cancel the meeting themselves. So all that stuff happens automatically.
Yeah, I love that. And in my book, I talk about how you can disqualify bad prospects with your website. Every day I hear contractors calling, oh, I need quality leads. The internet doesn't produce quality leads. Well, that's because your website isn't disqualifying people. So you are automatically disqualifying the people who just want a one-off mow for their enormous yard that they haven't taken care of in 10 years. You're telling people the budget. So if they're looking for the cheapest person, cool. Let them go get the cheapest contractor. They're not a fit, right? So I love that you have this, and I love that you're sending that document. The other thing you're doing really well is sending video, and you've got video on your website. And last time we talked a few weeks ago, you had even gotten a little branded background. And how is that going? I haven't seen any new videos. Are you still making them? I just haven't seen them yet.
I've been a little slack here recently, only because it's spring and we're trying to kick stuff out here in this unique time. But yes, we got it was a little screen, kind of like you see behind a sports arena, when they're doing their interviews afterwards. Right. It was, I don't know, $300, and it looks pretty professional. We did our COVID-19 video in front of that. Right. Part of our pre-meeting documents that sent out, it's a video that says, hey, thank you for signing up. Please read the document. It kind of encourages them and say, listen, I'm the owner of the company. I'm just trying to say, hey, I put in a lot of time and effort into these documents. Please read them, because this tells you everything that I know about our services in this document. So videos really hit home, and a lot of people really love it.
Yeah, video really is powerful because, everyone has a slightly different learning style. Some people like to read. Some people will watch a video, but they wouldn't read. Some people wouldn't watch a video, but they will read. And this way you're reaching all of those people automatically is the beauty. I think my favorite thing about using video in my own business is I have tons of onboarding videos for clients and things, and they show up and we don't spend a half hour going through, client 101 questions. It's like, hey, how can I help you? And you can just help more people faster. I think help the right people faster. I wanted to go ahead.
The other thing that we didn't talk about is with the online scheduling, the system that we use, I don't have any no-shows too, or people's like, oh, I thought the time was this time or this time. It automatically sends them reminders and text messages. So everyone's going to be there on time and they know it. And I can send pre-meeting documents again, just so hey, just a reminder to read this before, an hour before the meeting. So just to kind of nail it home.
Awesome. Yeah. You're using a lot of repetition in the right way. Mm-hmm. And that can really help. So since we originally wanted to meet about photos, I wanted to share some tips about how to take great photos on your smartphone. And my first tip for people is to hold your phone in landscape mode, meaning hold it horizontally. And the reason is if you're going to put these on your website, a lot of people are going to view these on a horizontal screen, on a computer browser or whatever. And by taking it horizontally, it's going to just display more of the photo. It's going to allow you, and Craig, that photo of that residence, the lawn maintenance client, man, that was spectacular because it had a nice focal point. It used the rule of thirds. If there's needs to be 3 things in the photo, and you're either covering one of them or 2 of them, and that had a good focal point in the rule of thirds. But you just keep it simple, hold it horizontally. And the other thing is the lighting. That photo was taken on a slightly overcast day. A lot of time there's a misconception that bright sunny days are the best for photos. Often it's easier to take a photo when it's overcast. Now you don't want to be out in the rain per se, but if it's a kind of muggy day, that's great because it's actually easier for the photo to not be blown out. What are some of the other tips that you've shared with your team to help them take great photos?
Man, I really promote people in the pictures. Whether it's customers or I love having team members in the pictures doing the work, so we're promoting getting additional team members and I don't know, it brings a picture to life when you have people in it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I really think it does. And I like having photos of people, especially you guys have nice branded shirts, because that reinforces the brand throughout your website. People are like, oh yeah, I think I have seen that truck in my neighborhood. And oh yeah, I have seen somebody in that shirt. And it makes it seem familiar. Whereas if you only have photos of lawn and landscape stuff, it's hard to remember, okay, well, who did this? I'd like to see more photos of Craig on the website because, people are, Craig and the rest of your partners who are doing sales, we want to set you guys up so that way when you show up, not only have they gotten the video, the document, but they've seen your photo and they're not surprised to see you, right? So it's not about Craig. It's about helping the client understand and feel comfortable with this guy who's at my house.
Sure.
Okay, this is Craig. I've seen him. I've seen his photo. I know why this person is here, right?
Yeah, it's usually not a problem with me because all the pre-meeting documents, I'm on the video. It's my 2 partners. They don't have a whole lot of camera time.
Yeah, we've got to get them in there. So very good. Well, what are is there anything else that you wanted to share with people before we break into Q&A?
No, just make it something that you do. Pictures are a big deal. We are a visual product. Yes, we provide a service, but people want to see their landscape look awesome. So if we can get some good pictures to promote yourself, it's and getting your team members to take them for you, to me, it was a no-brainer. So you just got to make it something that you do, and you do it, and you reiterate it all the time.
And how do you communicate? What's the benefit aside from the incentive, or is it? It has to be. So it's more than just the gift card. It's you're spreading them around in front of the team. It's part of the experience.
It's camaraderie too.
It's camaraderie.
You guys. they really do cut up for 5 minutes and just like, oh man, look at that one. Oh, this one definitely won. You know, they know that this stuff is looking good, and they want to be that one that everyone talks about, and they're proud of it. They want the rest of the team to be proud of it too.
Good. Well, and that goes back to your culture and your motto of landscaping we're proud of. So I think it all ties together, and this is just a way that you're living it. So next, I'd like to bring our landscape marketing strategist, Robert, on and hear some of his thoughts about this. Robert is often meeting with people and he's looking at websites. So Robert, glad to have you here.
Glad to be here. Thanks, Jack. I'm Robert Felton. I'm the landscape marketing strategist here at Ramblin Jackson. I actually talked to Craig before he joined as one of our customers, and was always just impressed with his work and kind of blown away by what he's doing. And, you know, I think something that I'd like to hear a little bit more about is Zapier. You know, I think a lot of people don't know what that does. And, you know, you've really automated a lot of simple processes and connected a lot of different software. And there's nothing more frustrating than moving from one software to the other. So could you tell us a little bit about Zapier and how it's helped you out?
So I really like to work hard once and have it do all the work for me the whole rest of the time. So as soon as we already talked about the information coming in off the website, all the meetings, all the information from the client, all that's taken from the website and the meeting that's set up and put into spreadsheets automatically. It's put into our proposal software. It's put into our PandaDoc that sends stuff off to people. I don't have to type the name in again, and we can kind of track it throughout the whole process. So all the pre-meeting documents are done instantly. It's you know, it's having programs talk to each other, and that Zapier is the program that does everything with that. So
Zapier just connects to different softwares. It's kind of like a Excel formula or something like that.
Yeah. So it takes information from the program that gathers the meeting to our database program, and it translates one piece of information to the other. So it works well on linking everything together. So that way we don't have to, I don't like typing in information a lot. I don't like paying for expensive programs that are very expensive that I can just build on my own. It's kind of like a DIY huge system. It's the best way to explain it.
That's awesome.
Well, Craig, you know, I'd love to see another program you're using is Airtable, which we mentioned briefly. Would you mind sharing your screen and showing us the GSU rocket ship? For those of you who haven't seen this, this is just mind-blowingly cool. So just walk us through some of the ways that you're using this to run your company.
So this is, I have Airtable here putting in all of our pictures. So this is all of our pictures, when they submitted it, who it is. So I can kind of go. So here's a ton of pictures. Just got. So you can see there's like 40 some pictures. This is the guy that won one of the bonuses this round. There's a lot of great pictures that he's framed up and he's done himself that he's really proud of. So that's all the pictures go there, but you can see from the tabs up top. So I'll just go, this is our main page on leads. So here's all of our active leads. So this is, so this lead just came in. So I assign it to the salesperson it needs to go to. This is the only real manual process in the whole system, is assigning it and telling what location it's at, and it goes in there instantly. But you can see all the different leads we have in the different stages. Right now, you know, you can see when the proposal's been sent. You can see what follow-up stage. So I have a follow-up system. As soon as I send out a proposal, it starts a chain reaction. So 2 hours after I send out a proposal, it sends a follow-up and says, hey, I sent a proposal about 2 hours ago. Just want to make sure that you got it and see if you had any questions about it. And then after 5 days, it follows up. And then after 5 days more, it follows up with different type of tactics to kind of go after to make sure that they know that we're paying attention and that I don't have to do it manually. It's doing it automatically. So
I love this because, we work with people on their SEO to generate leads. We build their websites, and a lot of times people drop the ball in the follow-up phase. Even once they get to the proposal stage, they don't follow up. And what I love about this is that you are automatically following up. And what you're sharing now is your equipment. And I was really amazed at how you manage your vehicles in here. So tell us a little more about this.
Yeah. So again, this is like a database meets an Excel spreadsheet. So it all talks. It's a great way to store stuff. So you can put all your information with all your pictures and every piece of information. So like this truck, it's got the VIN numbers. It's got every piece of information, where it's at, what year it is, where it's housed, everything that you would need to know in one place, which is really great. And it also talks about, we can also enter service tickets in here. So we don't have any open service tickets right now, but you can enter in service tickets that ties in directly to that piece of equipment. So all the information is in the same place all the time.
Amazing.
Again, this could be overwhelming pretty quickly, but here's our 30, 60, 90 meetings we were talking about earlier. So I perform the meetings. I have a nice little form. Actually, I can show you the form. Somewhere. So here's the form that I use, the date of the meeting, who the team member is, who's conducting the meeting, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the highest, how would you rate working here? What would you change if you could? What do you dislike the most and why? What do you like the most and why? What job or task do you like doing better than anything else? So I'm just kind of asking them questions that there may be corny questions, but I'm asking them questions that spur conversation. So I want to get to know them and what they like and what they don't like. So this is all housed here.
Can you share that story that you talked about the bags and how you incentivied that employee? Was that before we talked? You mentioned that one employee came up with an idea here in this meeting and you've implemented it.
Oh, right.
Board. What was that? I can't remember the name.
Yeah. So that was in this. We talked about the baggers on the mowers, and in this meeting we talked about. He just thought it was a good idea to add baggers because it would save on man hours. It'd make our properties look better. From that standpoint, it was all gathered from one of these meetings that we hold. And again, this all ties back to our team. So here's our team members. Well, I have a calendar here that tells every key date that I need to know about. So when their birthday is, when their year is, when they're 30, 60, 90 days, so I can know when I need to have these meetings. So again, I look at this every week to kind of make sure I have all these meetings dialed in. We have all of our active team members and every piece of information that you need to know on our active team members list here and what they do here. There is an org chart here somewhere too that I don't know if it's up to date or not, but maybe not. But there's a lot of different ways you can sort this information too. So these are all the leads that I just showed you. But you can sort them by timeline. So I actually did this here. So you can see what leads are coming in by salesperson. And if we won the job, how much the job was and everything like that, what type of job it was. So we try to, you can filter this information on Airtable any way you want to. And you can group stuff and filter it to get the information that you want out of it. So the main reason I did it is because I didn't know how I was getting my leads. So that's why I investigated this in the first place, because I'm paying Angie's a list. I'm paying Jack to help me with the Google side of things. And I want to know that if it works or not. So if I track everything that comes in on where the lead source was,
right,
it works. Well,
and so what have you been able to interpret from, I mean, we only launched your website, I think 6 weeks ago. What have you found about do you track things like close rate? Are you able to share any insights from what you found from the marketing?
Yeah, so we're definitely, we launched our website in mid-February, I believe. I can't, maybe it was March. But we're definitely seeing an uptick in our Google leads, which is great. And I love being confident about that. You know what I mean? I love knowing that, I think January we had one lead from Google, and it's gone up last month just from Google alone. I think we did $40,000 from Google, which is great. You know what I mean? We're seeing steady progress. We're seeing steady leads coming in that we know that are from Google, because that's what the clients are telling us. We're asking that question on our website. We're asking, how did you hear about us? And so we know if it's from a Google lead, they're telling us they found us from Google right when they remembered doing it. So it's definitely been helpful to know that, and not to toot your horn, but it has worked for Google so far, and we're really excited about that.
Cool. Well, I appreciate you sharing that. What have you been able to cut any marketing since you started tracking it? And unrelated to the work we're doing together, I'm an advocate of tracking marketing. I have a chapter in my book. Chapter 11 is called Measure Results, and I even share how to put this into QuickBooks. I take it with my own marketing. I know where every single client came from and what marketing led me to that. So that way I can look at, okay, well, how much did I spend, and then what did I get, and what was it profitable? Have you been able to and I know that for a lot of people, when I ask them to do this, they're like, oh, I don't want to do more busy work. I'm sure some people are listening to this and they're like, man, this dude's a geek. He's got everything in his Airtable. I could never do that. But like, I'm guessing like you've probably saved the cost of several employees who would need to do this stuff, or like, what is like, so one, thank you for sharing your Airtable and your lead sources and all this stuff. What has been like the business result for you from setting all this up? Because I'm just curious.
Yeah. So first of all, I took my suspenders off for this meeting. I am definitely not a geek. So just want to make sure we're on the same page on that. So from that standpoint, I just like doing stuff that it does it automatically. I don't want any more busy work either. I just want it to work. You know what I mean? So I'm going to work really hard one time to automate it so it does it for me all the time. So one of your questions was, did we stop anything? We have stopped doing Google pay-per-click currently. And I did that for the last 2 years. I think we were pumping $1,200 a month into Google pay-per-click. And honestly, the honest answer is we're getting more leads right now than we did with pay-per-click, better quality leads right now with the SEO work that we've done versus just kind of trolling on Google pay-per-click.
That's awesome. And for those of you listening, I did not pay Craig to say that. But
I have the data to prove it.
He's got the data to prove it. It makes my job way easier when you have your own data. But that's amazing, and I think that you should expect that to continue. I
have one more quick question. I think something that a lot of clients struggle with is getting people, even here at Ramblin Jackson, Jack is very comfortable on video. It's very strong. I've been working on becoming stronger on video. A lot of people get kind of nervous when they take pictures or part of a picture or part of a video. And I'm just wondering, it sounds like you've really created this great culture. And I'm wondering how you maybe coach someone who struggles being on camera, or, someone who's nervous to take pictures because everyone sees them. And I know a lot of, labor workers, they really like even some of this technology stuff. Man, that's kind of what they say. So I was just wondering if you had some helpful hints to help someone who's maybe uncomfortable starting this process and how to be more comfortable. So
just baby steps. It's not, you're not shooting off a rocket ship here. You know what I mean? So one of the baby steps for me, I'm not good on video. it's still a challenge for me. But the baby step that I took is I downloaded a teleprompter onto my phone. So I'm taking a video and I'm reading a teleprompter. If that's the baby step that I needed, I could well think out what I was going to say. So it was very concise. Now, I was using that as a template. That was my crutch to get going. And now it's become easier, and it's kind of like riding a bike. It just takes seat time. The more you do it, the better you're going to get. The more comfortable you're going to get, the better it's going to sound. But my crutch to get started was a teleprompter. And then I got a nice, Jack talked about the lighting. I got nice lighting for shooting the video. I got a nice background. It was $300 and a light that was, I don't know, $25 off of Amazon. A couple of small little things and you're set up to go with it. Like Jack does it makes it make it easy for yourself to do it, because then you'll do it all the time.
Yeah. That's my, I'll say that it is hard, and I've been doing a weekly video for about 11 years now. So a lot of times people are like, oh, Jack, you're so comfortable on camera. You should watch. I have it up on YouTube. It's a terrible video. It's just not that they're great now, but it's like you said, it's like seat time on a bike. You get more comfortable at it. And I would encourage people sure, get the branded background and a light and stuff at some point, but hey, get started honestly with your phone. And one of the frustrating things, honestly, is that a lot of the videos I shoot just on my phone without the lights or all the things that I try and make perfect, I get a better response to, because people are like, oh, it's just some guy trying to help me. And I think there's a kind of a balance of, you don't want to spend too much time making the video perfect, but whatever you do, make it easy. Like I have my office set up. I designed this office with these LED lights in the ceiling, and these LED lights just look great on camera. So I just turn them on. I have the camera right behind my computer, and I'm ready to record within less than a minute. I'm up and running. So, well, cool, Craig. Well, you're a really inspiring guy. I appreciate you coming on the show and sharing so openly the things that are working. And for those of you who are listening, get started, set a goal, create an incentive, make it part of your weekly meeting. Don't set it and forget it at the beginning of the year, because you'll never get the results. If you do what Craig's doing, rewarding people, making it a competition. People love competitions, right? Yeah. And then reminding people every week, you're gonna get those photos and put them up on your site. So thanks so much for tuning in today. And you can see the show notes. You can see the transcript of this. I'm gonna include the photo that we talked about, that one, at ramblinjackson.com/podcast. So be sure to check it out there. And thanks again, Craig.
Thanks, Craig.
Yep, thank you.
Well, thanks so much for checking out today's episode. Craig let me know after the show that he'd welcome any emails from you. So feel free to email Craig. It's craig@gsulandscaping.com. That's CRAIG@gsulandscaping.com. And for those of you who enjoyed this episode, subscribe. Make sure you don't miss them. You can get the full show notes and some of my other bonus content if you sign up at ramblinjackson.com/podcast. And if you're enjoying this on YouTube or Apple Podcasts or Spotify, you can subscribe in all those places. So thanks so much for listening to today's episode, and go out and get your team inspired to take photos. My name is Jack Jostes, and I don't make mistakes on camera. Except for Fridays.